Alright, ladies and gentlemen, officially welcome to Vici Gaming versus DK. We have had a couple of remakes here, so unfortunately for you VOD viewers, you aren't going to get screwed on the picking phase a little bit there. We did see the draft live, and, well, it happened. We remade again, and we remade one more time. And hopefully this is our actual game that we're going to get into. It is all pick, as you can see. It is Vici Gaming versus DK. They are now unfortunately labeled as the Radiant, but alas, we are in the game here, and I think we can officially get started. So, just to reiterate for those VOD viewers again, let's talk about these drafts a little bit. Wisp was first picked here by DK, and they've got an interesting roster. Not that classic combo to pair him with that we're used to. They're going to have a Wisp, Elder Titan, Luna, Sand King, and a Kunkka on our Radiant side. And actually, let's just go ahead and introduce our rosters here, because, well, we'll see how they're going to lane this. I still don't know exactly how they're going to lane this. Vici Gaming, though, they're going to go ahead and grab a Rubik Clockwork, Alchemist, Rubik, and, did I say Rubik twice? A Weaver, Rubik, Alchemist, Clockwork, and Treant Protector for their roster. So already we see both sides much in favor of running those tanky off-lane and mid-lane heroes. Both teams have an abundance of strength heroes that we aren't really used to seeing from the action that we've seen in Starladder. It seems that kind of intellect style of play, the glass cannons type heroes have been a little bit more popular in what we've seen so far in Starladder Season 7 from the CIS region following TI3. So again, thank you for joining us folks here on Dota Radio. There's plenty of coverage for this Asian event here bright and early on the East Coast. It's about 8:35 now. We're a little bit delayed here, but we are underway nonetheless. This is going to be a best of 2 series, so only 2 games coming up today, but there will be exactly 2. So, let's take a look at these lanes. It looks like things have settled down a little bit. So on our Radiant side, we are going to have Team DK with their new roster. Ice 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 going to be the one playing Elder Titan. Looks like he may be headed up to that long lane there, up in the top lane. In the mid, Mushi going to be the one playing Kunkka, and he is headed to the mid lane at the moment. That means down in the bottom lane, we're going to have a tri-lane. We're going to have MMY playing support on the Mighty Wisp. We're going to have Lan playing the Sand King, also in the bottom lane here. And then, of course, the carry player for DK, one of my personal favorites, the first player I ever saw break 600 GPM. My man, Burning in the flesh, going to be playing on the Luna in this match. No bias, folks. Just wanted to point out I am a big Burning fan at heart. So, on the Vici Gaming side here, we do have Clockwork going to be playing the long lane. He is in the bottom lane right now, being played by ROTK, doing that fancy work with the cogs to knock those creeps into the jungle there. In the mid lane, Super going to be playing on the Weaver, going up against the Kunkka, played by Mushi. Interesting, seeing Weaver in the mid lane. We did see that yesterday, actually, and it worked out quite nicely. So, we'll see how that fares in this matchup here. And, of course, in the top lane, Vici Gaming going to have a tri-lane in their safe lane. 2-2 going to be the one playing on the Alchemist, and it looks like he's going to be the primary farmer up here. FY going to be on the Rubik at the moment. He's going to bump into Ice Ice Ice, and Ice 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 going to be doing a lot of damage to him. He stole all that damage from the Astral Spirit. There's the telekinesis. The Treant going to come in. He's going to try to make it happen. Unstable Concoction. Ice Ice Ice, you need to be careful there, buddy. They are not going to be able to finish him off. A very defensive tri-lane up here for VG, so they aren't going to be able to get that counter kill. Last but not least, Fenrir. I believe that's correct. Hopefully I didn't botch the pronunciation too poorly there. But that is going to be the Treant Protector, their last and final support up in the top lane to go with the Rubik and the Alchemist. But Ice Ice Ice, he's going to hang around a bit too long. He's going to get caught in a telekinesis and an unstable concoction combo, and he's going to fall. Rubik going to grab the first blood. That's going to be a nice bit of bonus gold there going the way of Vici Gaming to start off this match. So both sides, they've got the tri-lanes in their safe lanes, and both with a solo offlaner. So we've got a mirror matchup in terms of laning breakdown, a 3-1-1 on both sides. And again, they really seem to favor those tanky supports as well as the tanky offlaners. And let's go ahead and take a look at some of the farm here and see how everyone's faring. Luna is 6-4 right now, so Burning actually not getting the best farm imaginable, though neither is the Alchemist. He is going to be 7-3-1 at the moment there in the top lane. Right now, the mid is really where the farming's at. Mushi going to be 12-0, and we'll see Super there sitting 13-2 at the moment on that Weaver. So Fenrir. Alright, I'll do my best. And please, folks, keep me apprised as to the audio balance. I'm still trying to tweak it. It sounds low to me, but I think it translates louder on the stream than I give it credit for. So again, just let me know. Let me know if the sounds are too much or not enough for you. Down in the bottom lane, though, ROTK going to be in a little bit of trouble. Going to be able to make it back to the tower. Going to throw down his Kongs, but this is a much more aggressive tri-lane that DK's got going on here. Of course, the burst damage Luna can put out from that Lucent Beam, and the Sand King. We talked about him quite a bit in the draft, and we can rehash a little bit of that here. We haven't seen him in Starladder Season 7 whatsoever, and again, in my opinion, he falls into that Earthshaker problem a little bit, where, yeah, he's a great support. He's a little little bit tanky. He can put out some great damage, but he needs that initial bit of farm to really be super effective. Before he gets the arcane boots, before he gets that blink dagger, really all he's got is a stun. He's a one and done kind of hero, but he will work nicely for the role he's in here. DK gonna have some nice lane control. Clockwork, I think he's been trying to block this camp with his rockets. I saw him throw a couple rockets down, and hopefully ROTK continues. I actually scratched that. He's gonna use just the rocket in the middle of the lane here, so we'll see. We'll see. We've certainly seen Clockwork do that many a time, though. Block that spawn from afar using that rocket flare. Always a good play, and could be limiting the lane control of DK just a little bit here. Both Luna and Alchemist really not getting as much farm as you would hope. Totally not in the free farm environment. They're both sitting about 12, 13 last hits apiece, so they are both struggling a little bit as the offlaners continue to harass. And I have to say, Ice 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 playing this Elder Titan in the offlane seems to be working quite nicely here to start things off. We've seen Elder Titan a couple of times so far in the CIS matches we've seen post TI3, and part of the problem with Elder Titan since he was put into captain's mode is it's not that he's a bad hero. We know he's a great hero. We know he's particularly good in the early game. He does fall off in that mid to late game, but still a very powerful hero. He's got a huge AoE ultimate, that Earth Splitter, but part of the problem is, where does he fit into the roster? Where do you lane him? We've seen him solo mid, we've seen him in the aggressive farming tri-lane, and I think we've actually seen him in the offlane a couple of times, and I think Fnatic actually ran him in the offlane. I'm picturing Era playing him in the offlane at one point in Starladder Season 7, and it worked okay. As so far, he seems to be doing a pretty good job harassing. He is sitting, what are his last hits there? He is 3-0, so not getting much in the way of farm, but he is getting a little bit of experience at least. He is, actually, no, I lied. He's level 1. He's not getting any experience. So I should have looked at the numbers before I spoke. It is early here on the East Coast, folks, so you have to bear with me a little bit as I get warmed up for casting this morning. The brain is not, it's not lubricated. I'm halfway done my first cup of coffee. That's never a good time. Always want to catch me at least one cup deep in the caffeine. It's all about the caffeine rotation. So Ice 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 getting boxed out here is really what I should have said. He is level 1, still not level 2. Only 3 creep kills. He's not faring so well. He did give up. I was going to say he hasn't even died that much. He's nice and tanky, but he did die once, and that's one time too many for your offlaners. Clockwork having a much better time down here. Clockwork at least 6-2, and looking at his experience, he is level 4, so, and he's actually pretty close to level 5, so there's a big dichotomy here for Vici Gaming. If we look at the graph, it should reflect that. Indeed it does. 1,000 gold advantage and about a 2,500 experience advantage for Vici Gaming already, and I think the biggest disparity is going to be those offlaners. Mid seems pretty easy. The primary farmers, the Alchemist and the Luna, are dead even, so of course some of that is coming from the first blood bonus gold as well. Yeah, it's just you, man. There are definitely HP and mana bars in-game, so if you're not seeing mana and HP bars in-game, I don't know what to tell you. That means your computer's all sorts of messed up, because I'm seeing health and mana bars here on both sides. So, alright. 6 minutes in here, we're going to see the third rune spawn. It is going to be a double damage up in the top lane. Alright, Ice 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 on that Elder Titan, going to wander his way into a double damage rune. Let's take a look at some starting builds here, as Alchemist will kick things off with Hand of Midas. That's going to be a 6-minute Midas. He has 3 points Greevil's Greed, 2 points Unstable Concoction, nothing in the Poison Spray at the moment. And they're going to use that Wisp action a little bit. He's going to tether up to the Sand King. Wisp going to be in a little bit of trouble here. MMY taking a lot of damage. There's the Telekinesis. He's going to be able to tether away. Whoa, barely going to be able to dodge that Torrent. They're going to be able to finish off the Scarab. Oh, I see what you're talking about. Yeah, I see no numbers here. Okay, I see health bars, but I see no numbers for their hit points. Alright, now I see what you're talking about, because I don't see it either. Yeah, that's weird. That's weird. Whoa. Alright, we are going to see more kills come about here in the mid lane, though. Both Sand King and Wisp going to get taken out, and Clockwork going to venture his way over. He's going to grab 1 kill. Weaver going to grab the other, so that's going to make it now 3-0. Vici Gaming off to a great start, so the above is okay. Yeah, I see exactly what you folks are talking about. For those of you on the audio-only stream, yeah, it should be good for you, but yeah, there's the HP and mana bars don't have any numbers, so I don't know how many hit points. That's really strange. I don't know if that's me or if that's everyone on Dota TV. Fascinating. So anyway, that's gonna make it 3-0. Vici Gaming off to a great start there. Looks like Wisp just got a little bit too aggressive in the mid lane as Rubik wandered his way down. He was able to finish him off with the Telekinesis. Weaver came in, grabbed a kill as well. Just a bit of hyper aggression, it looks like, from Team DK. So they are off to a little bit of a rocky start. That gold graph now going to dip below 1,500 in favor of Vici Gaming, and now the experience graph going to get even worse. Now sitting at just about 4,000 experience. So Burning is going to continue farming away down here in the bottom lane. He's going to enter into kind of free farm mode, and it looks like Vici Gaming want to group up in the top lane. They are going to shove a kind of a triple creep wave there into the tower, and it looks like DK hoping they'll dive it. We see Sand King hiding in the trees there. and MMY on the Wisp hiding in the trees as well. So they're trying to set the trap. They're trying to use Ice as bait. We're at the 8-minute mark. This is around the time, actually even a little bit later, that these close lanes want to start pushing those off lanes that are tough to defend at this stage in the match, and they were hoping Vici was going to do it, but alas, they did not. But Weaver going to try to come around the backside. They're going to bump into Super. He's going to catch the Wisp, going to harass with a Shikuchi, going to go ahead and initiate right on the Wisp. Wisp going to get a nice tether. That's going to stun Super. Super now going to go in, going to throw Scarabs out on Elder Titan. The Living Armor going to come out. Super going to be able to dive this. He's doing a lot of damage. The level 8 Spider versus the level 2 Elder Titan. Elder Titan taking a lot of damage. Kunkka going to come in from the mid lane as well. That's going to be a ghost ship, not going to connect. So Weaver going to make it out. But wow, Ice. He is a squish bag right now. He's on gray boots, magic stick, and Sage's mask. Just now going to be able to grab that soul ring. But we saw just how much damage Weaver was able to do with just a little bit of harassment right there. And it's one of the great things about the Tramp Protector. A lot of folks say that he encourages passive play, but I contend the opposite. I think he encourages that aggressive play early on, because you can dive towers, you can put yourself in sticky situations, and you have that living armor to absorb a little bit of damage and give you a bit of additional regen, and that's exactly what we saw from Super right there. I like the aggressive thought, though I also like that he backed up and didn't press his luck too much there. So one person we haven't talked about too much in this game is the Kunkka, because he's been doing just fine in the mid lane. He's number 2 on last hits right now, actually. Him and Luna leading the way. Luna now going to be 52 and 30 as Burning's had the opportunity to pick up a bit of free farm. Mushi going to be 49 and 7 on Kunkka. He's level 8, and this is not too bad. One of the problems with Kunkka is he's a hero that needs a lot of farm. He can be a little slow getting going. Again, one of those heroes, if he doesn't pick up that momentum early on, he can be easy to shut down in that later game. But he's doing just fine here. He is going to start with Phase Boots into the Stout Shield Bottle, Magic Wand, as well as a Quelling Blade. So nothing too crazy about that inventory, but off to a great start. Going to be working towards that Shadow Blade, no doubt, that kind of core item there for Kunkka. Works quite nicely with that Tidebringer indeed. Down here in the bottom, what's Burning going to be going on the Luna? He is sitting 52 and 30 right now, so Burning, he's nailed a lot of last hits. Unfortunately, too many of those are denies, but of course that has allowed him to maintain a good bit of lane control, and he is still solo down here in the bottom lane. He's just going to go ahead and creep pull. So I like that DK has put a little bit of pressure on this top lane. They see that Alchemist farming away. They see that he's got Hand of Midas already, and there's at least some action in the top lane. Ice is still up there. We see Wisp as well as the Sand King are still near the top lane, and they're trying to be ready to put some pressure up there, at least poke that Alchemist a little bit. Right now, Burning is just in total free farm mode. Clockwork's come down to the lane a couple times, but he's just going to rotate back to the top, and I like that DK has made that adjustment to try and open up some space for Burning here, and I'm curious to see what items he's going to go. He does have the Tranquil Boots, Magic Stick, and Drum of Endurance to go with a couple of GG branches to start things off, so always interesting to see what item route they go. But in the top lane, Ice going to get initiated on. Clockwork going to connect with a hook shot. That's going to be Cogs, and that'll make for an easy kill. The Unstable Concoction there to follow up. Clockwork going to get that last hit on Elder Titan. The Ghost Ship going to come in. Mushi going to try to follow up, but you're not going to be able to do it. That Living Armor is going to get applied. Clockwork's going to get healed up, and they're going to be forced to disengage here. Looks like DK want to continue putting some pressure forward, though. All 5 going to be in the top lane. Burning going to use an Eclipse, but the Creep Wave going to come in right away, and that Eclipse not going to do nearly as much damage as he would have hoped for. The Wisp going to get taken out now. He's going to take an Unstable Concoction to the face, and now Luna going to be in some trouble. Looks like Burning may fall. Whoa, that's going to be a 3-0 when it's all said and done. That's going to make it 6-0 here at the 11-minute mark. Vici Gaming already off to a huge start in this match. DK, I think they just got a bit too aggressive there. They moved too far forward, and it's not going to stop there. Now Sand King going to get caught in some cogs. He's going to be able to burrow out. He's still going to die, though. Now we're going to see Clockwork. He's going to the tower. He's going to fall. He is going to get killed by the tower, so that is good news. Mushi using that X marks the spot. No way he could have gotten out. So they are going to get a recovery kill on the Clockwork, but when it's all said and done, that's going to be a 4-for-1 exchange in the top lane. Now the action going to continue. Super going to dive the tower. He's going to be able to finish off the EO. He's going to get caught by a torrent. Will be able to time lapse, but he is going to fall. Now Elder Titan going to come in. He's going to put him to sleep. There's the Ghost Ship as well. FY going to be able to dodge it. Nicely played by the Rubik right there. A little more living armor may be able to help him out. Going to get caught with an X marks the spot, and down he goes. But it's not over yet. Vici want vengeance. They're going to come back in, and Overgrowth. Whoa, a big overcommitment there coming out from the tree, and he's going to get taken out. Not sure what he was thinking there. No way they had the follow-up damage to finish him off. And now the Alchemist going to be in a little bit of trouble. Well, how did that torrent not connect? Holy Toledo, that was right under his feet. So that looks like that's where the fight is going to settle down. Vici Gaming going to overextend after picking up quite a few nice kills there. That will make it now 8-4 as finally DK, our Radiant side, gets some kills on the board. I think needless to say, though, Vici Gaming coming out way ahead in that fight. Were any buybacks used? Nope, just those low respawn times helping Team DK right there. But I say they came out on top because that Alchemist is now 3-0-2. He was not killed. He's now level 10. He's tied for the highest level with Kunkka. So there is a big experience advantage going the way of Vici Gaming right now. And this Alchemist is going to get out of control again. He went for that early Hand of Midas. Where did that Aegis of the Immortal come from? Wait, what? Did they do a Roche that I missed? Visual bug? Yeah, I was gonna say, what the okay, there's no way they did Roche. There's no way I missed a Roche kill within the first 10 minutes. I don't know what that item is. Is that another item in his inventory, or is it just a bug? Is that a Tango? Alright, well, the level 11 Alchemist has Handamitis, Phase Boots, and now a Quelling Blade and a Stout Shield. It is definitely not an Aegis. Roche is still alive, so I don't know where that came from. So I don't know what to make of that one, folks. Again, these crazy Chinese servers, I don't know. Something got lost in translation there, I think, to say the least. So that was really unfortunate for DK as well, to continue on that point before we noticed the Troll Aegis there, is that the Alchemist got a couple kills, and poor Burning. That was not what he wanted to do in that exchange. He's now going to be 0-1-1, and although Burning's farming well in terms of last hits, he's way below that Alchemist on the net worth chart. Alchemist sitting at about 7k net worth, and Luna is only at 3.5k, so Burning is not off to a good start. He's already getting doubled. Here in the mid lane, they are going to try to find some recovery kills. They want to grab a bit of an extra experience. They are going to put ROTK to sleep. Wisp's going to come in. They are going to be able to finish off the Clockwork. They're going to burn a lot of ultis to do it, but he will get caught in a tether stun, then a ghost ship to follow up. So nicely done. Mushi, a fantastic Kunkka player. He's been spot on so far, and certainly his life has been made a little bit easier not having to go up against an Outworld Devourer, so he's actually had mana to be able to use those abilities. A nice change of pace there for Kunkka. He's going to go for the early Drum of Endurance to go with the Phase Boots, the Bottle, the Stout Shield, and now the Magic Wand, so that is good news for Kunkka. And let's actually just hit the F5 button here and see what's going on in the other inventories, and oh god, yeah, the Alchemist, that farm already paying off. He's going to be able to pick up an early Shadowblade here to go with the Phase Boots and that Handamitis. So DK need to do something here. They know that they're in a position where if they just keep farming, all else equal, they're not going to win. There's no way the Luna is just going to be able to catch up to that Alchemist between the Greevil's Greed and the Handamitis, given that Luna, she's an okay farmer. She's great. I'd say she's above average thanks to that Moonglaive, thanks to the Lunar Blessing. But you know, she still doesn't compare to a Greevil's Greed Handamitis combo, and especially not having that early Handamitis. I think DK know that they're going to have to hit a mid-game timing here. They're going to have to make something happen before that Alchemist just becomes unstoppable, and I think this is a game where that's going to be kind of inevitable. There's nothing shutting down this Alchemist right now. Tutu's just in the jungle. He's farming away. That GPM just going to continue to skyrocket, and what's he at right now? What's the button for that chart? Yeah, F4. That's the one I was looking for. What's his GPM at already? Mushi is sitting at 380 GPM, but the Alchemist, oh god, he's at 520 GPM here at the 15-minute mark. So having free farm in the jungle at this point, there's nothing slowing him down. No reason why he shouldn't be able to just overtake this game at a certain point in time in the future. Probably just going to be going for that classic build, get the Assault Kuras, get the BKB, become that nice tanky force, and then just start smashing faces with all that attack speed. So folks, that begs the question, what is DK to do? They do have a little bit of teamfight synergy there between the Sand King ulti, the Kunkka ulti, as well as Elder Titan to try and set it up by putting folks to sleep. A kind of a similar flavor to that Naga a little bit. Can set things up with the other team with that huge AoE sleep he can use, especially with the Astral Spirit. Very long range on that, so there is a lot of initiation power. But again, part of the problem with the Sand King is they're going to need him to be able to pull that off, and there you go, in the bottom lane, he's just going to get taken out instantly. Level 6 Sand King going to drop as Alchemist comes in, and Rubik going to get that last hit. Now ROTK may be in a little bit of trouble here. Sand King is going to buy back, so it looks like we will see some action heat up in the bottom lane. Torrent going to connect. The Ghost Ship going to come in. A beautiful Ghost Ship going to connect with quite a few from Vici Gaming. We will see the Clockwork get taken out. Alchemist looking like he may fall. The buyback from the Sand King going to prove to be useful here. Kunkka going to steal the Ghost Ship. He's going to give him a taste of their own medicine. He's going to stack it with the Overgrowth. Very nicely done from Vici Gaming right there. Now the tree going to go in. He's going to get put to sleep. Super on the Weaver, trying to do a lot of damage here. He's going to get caught in a nice Torrent. Mushi and the Sand King now doing a lot of damage. Not going to be able to time lapse. He's going to fall. So there you go. Sand King going to be able to get a little bit of recovery action. Now Mushi in trouble. He's going to be one more hit. He's got 18 hit points to spare, and he is going to be able to survive. Now Rubik going to be in a little bit of trouble. He's going to get living armor before the tree gets stunned by the Sand King. Rubik going to try to pour it out. He's going to get put to sleep. Rubik going to fall, as will the tree. And so there it is. DK with the response. Nicely done, but oh no! Clockwork going to throw in a Rocket Flare, and that's going to finish off Mushi. That's going to end Kunkka's dominating streak, as he was trying to pour it out of there. ROTK not going to have a hook shot up, but uh-oh, this Sand King is low. He is level 8, but he's low on health and mana. ROTK, he may catch him. Uh-oh, Lon did do a stutter step here. This could be bad. ROTK gonna have the hook shot coming up in 10 seconds. Will support come his way, and indeed it shall. Luna gonna be coming up from behind, and that will be ROTK's sign to get the hell out of there as he does head to that tier 1 tower in the mid lane. So nicely done by DK right there. They catch a nice team fight, and that is gonna make it 10-12 here at the 17.5-minute mark, and we've got a little bit more of an even game on our hands. Gold graph still in favor of Vici right now, about 3k gold, somewhere about 1800 experience, so so things are looking a little bit better for DK. They did get a much-needed kill on that Alchemist, and look at that. That's going to slow down his net worth a little bit. He's now only 3,000 above the Kunkka. 2-2 now sitting at about 9k net worth. Kunkka going to be at the 6k mark, and Luna still at 4.2k. So Burning still just not having the presence that he wants to have in this game. And he is going to go ahead and pick up an Ogre Club to go with those Tranquil Boots and the Drum of Endurance, as well as the Magic Stick. So Burning going to be probably be working towards a nice early BKB there for a bit of additional survivability. No big surprise with that. So, a great buyback from Sand King to start off that fight as well. He was the one that started off the fight. He got picked off right away. He got stun locked, and the Unstable Concoction was enough for him to fall. He bought back right away and had a presence in that fight. I think the Epicenter did help, but a lot of great burrow strikes. And uh-oh, Ghost Ship going to be used in the mid lane. We're going to see Clockwork in a little bit of trouble. The Earth Split going to be used as well, or Earth Splitter, I guess it's called, and not going to be enough for the kill there. So, Clockwork going to be able to survive. But the Sand King did have a driving role in that fight. As I was saying before that fight started, though, one of the problems for DK is Sand King just needs that farm. He needs to have the mana sustainability to be able to use those abilities. He is going to go for a nice early earn here, but he really needs the Blink to add to that huge bit of teamfight presence that they have. So DK certainly not out of it yet, but they need to be careful. Alchemist still the leading farmer with flying colors in this match, and he's going to continue to be a scary force. He's already close to that BKB. He's got the Ogre Club, the Mithril Hammer, and he's got about 800 in the bag, so he's just going to need 500 gold or so, and he will have himself a shiny new Black King bar. And we can see DK, they know it. They're grouped up about the mid. They've got 4 in the mid lane here. They're trying to force these team fights while they feel like they have a bit of an edge. This is one of these games, though, where a DK first picked the Wisp, and it seems the rest of their roster just didn't really synergize with the Wisp as well. They had the option to grab the Tiny, certainly could have grabbed Ursa as well, so there were options to try and make it happen, but whoa, we're going to hold that thought as there's going to be some initiation. Rubik going to start things off. He's still got the Ghost Ship. He's going to use it to initiate. That'll be the end of Ice Ice Ice. Elder Titan going to fall to start off this fight. Now Vici Gaming going to be leading 13-10, and they are going to press forward. All members of DK going to head for the hills, and now they're going to reinitiate. Mushi going to throw the Torrent Boat combo, going to connect with a couple. Alchemist and Clockwork going to fall. Uh-oh, now Rubik going to be in trouble. Down he goes. Uh-oh, Vici Gaming going to get completely scraped right here. Tree, the only one left alive. He's going to go down. There it is. DK going to be able to grab a 5-for-1 exchange. They lost Ice 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 at the beginning, but they killed all 5 members of Vici Gaming. And whoa, I thought Sing Sing was a powerful Kunkka player. Mushi with some incredible Kunkka plays right there. He set that fight up. He connected a Torrent, landed a beautiful Ghost Ship, connected with at least 3 to start off that fight. And there you have it. Now going to be 15-13. DK with the response. And there it is, folks. The exact right idea. DK was trailing. They have that mid-game team fight presence, and right around that 20-minute mark, they hit that timing, and now they're actually going to start to take command of this game. Goldgraph still in favor of Vici Gaming, but it won't be for long, as following that successful team fight, DK going to be able to pressure the Tier 1 and the Tier 2 towers in the mid lane, and they will both fall. There it is. That Goldgraph going to swing from a 4,000 disadvantage now to actually about a 500 gold advantage for DK for the first time in this match. Experience Graph going to follow suit. Now they're going to be leading by just about 2,500 experience now as we approach the 21-minute mark. Kunkka now 6-1-6. Mushi having a great game here to start off the Ace Dota 2 League. So, all right, let's take a look at the net worth chart here. We see Alchemist still leading the way, but that gap is closing. We mentioned just a few moments ago how he was only 3,000 gold ahead of the Kunkka, now only 2,000. He's at 10,000. Kunkka going to be holding steady at about 8.1k, so he is in good shape. Let's take a look at some inventories as more big items have been picked up. We do see Ice 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 on the Elder Titan, going to be able to grab his mech, the first kind of big item here coming out for him, and to go with the Soul Ring and the Power Tread, so that's great, a much-needed item. We talked about mech in grave detail yesterday during Star Ladder. Still no mech coming out for Vici Gaming right now, possibly one of the driving factors. Actually, not one of the driving factors in that fight, because Ice 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 got taken out before the fight even started, so there was no mech to be used. He was in the well when DK was continuing to pressure that fight and took a successful fight. We see on Vici Gaming really no one working towards that mech right now. I imagine they're going to want that Treant to start working his way towards it, but his farm is not too hot right now. He's on Boots of Speed, Magic Wand, 1 Tango from that early game, and only about 300 gold to boot, so he is not close whatsoever, and that's always a scary time in a match where one side has a mech and the other side doesn't. Again, we talked about it yesterday in great detail. Mech is greater than no mech in pretty much every situation, and that's going to give DK a huge advantage here. They're going to continue pressuring these team fights. That's about 1,200 healing they can put out in these upcoming team fights, and that is absolutely huge. That kind of nullifies some of the damage, a lot of the damage that Vici Gaming can put out. Vici Gaming, of course, they're going to be working towards their BKBs. They know that they're going to be needed in this game. Alchemist going to have his already. Ogre Club going to be in the inventory of the Weaver, as well as an inventory of the Clockwork here, so they are going to continue working towards those core items. But look at this, DK, they're going to have 3 in the top lane. Wisp is not with them at the moment. moment. He's in the bottom lane. Burning going to get initiated on. Down he goes. Overgrowth going to be burned as well. Now it's just going to be Ice, 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 and Mushi. They're going to be in big trouble here. And it looks like, oh, Wisp going to be able to bring in the Sand King. Are they going to be able to make something happen? Looks like they had a big ulti go off. Mushi going to try to port out. He's going to get caught by an unstable concoction. Down he goes. Ice, Ice, Ice going to be able to port out. Is the Wisp going to be so lucky? Indeed he will. He's going to be able to tether back down to the bottom lane with his good buddy Sand King, and he's going to survive with just a couple of hit points to spare, though. So DK, they had an opportunity, but they didn't make it happen right there. It's now going to be tied up 15 to 15. It looks like they didn't even use the mech right there. You got a mech and you didn't use it. You got to use that mech in those team fights, especially when things aren't going your way. Now Vici Gaming, they're going to group up. They're going to counter pressure here. They're hungry for blood. They're going to take out this tier 1 tower in the top lane. It looks like all 5 of them still here. Looks like we will see ROTK migrate to that top rune spawn. He's going to bundle up a haste rune. Looks like it spawned around the 22-minute mark there. But there you go. Vici Gaming going to grab that tier 1 tower in the top lane, and that is going to take the tower count now 3-1 in favor of DK. They did take out that tier 1 tower in the bottom lane, in addition to the tier 1 and the tier 2 in the mid lane. Always great when you can push the mid lane early on, because one great thing DK has going for him right now, they're going to have a bit of map control. They've still got that tier 1 up in the mid lane. No tier 1 or tier 2 towers available for Vici Gaming in the mid. So in these team fights with buybacks and such, that is going to make a pretty notable difference. Map control is certainly something to keep in mind at this stage in the game. Now, following that unsuccessful team fight, the gap between the leading farmers in this match, of course, the Alchemist and the Kunkka, going to continue to grow. Now, Kunkka going to fall behind by about 4,000, so that's all it takes. If you open up a little bit of free farm opportunity for that scary Alchemist to keep farming, things are going to start looking a little bit rough. We're going to see initiation onto the tree. Tree going to have 3 hit points to spare. Ice, Ice, Ice going to try to finish him off. He is going to burn the Overgrowth, and oh no, the Treant Protector going to survive, and this could translate into a bad engage here for DK. They're going to try to press forward. They're going to catch ROTK on the clockwork. He's going to take a torrent to the face. He is going to, Earth Splitter going to come out. He's going to die before the Earth Splitter connects. Kog's going to come down, and that will be the end of the fight. DK going to come out 1 kill stronger as Vici Gaming do head for the well, but still only making that a 1 kill exchange there. Beautifully played by the tree, and again, Fenrir? I still can't say that name, but well played there by the now level 11 tree with that slightly more powerful Overgrowth. DK, though, they're going to keep the pressure on. They took out that tier 1 tower in the top lane. They are going to pressure on and try to take out this tier 2 tower. Again, DK with the right idea here. They need to take an edge. The glyph going to be used by Vici, and they did throw down a sentry ward a little close to the tower there, and it is going to be taken out. So that tier 2 tower is going to survive, and one of the things that I think DK seems to be very keen on here is recognizing they have to kind of flash push these towers, and that's why we saw the glyph, and instantly they just backed up because they knew they're glyphing, they're going to come for a defense, and they've got the Treant Protector here. Living Armor does apply to buildings, so this tower going to be back to full health before they can push again, unless they push within the next like 45 seconds here. So it seems DK has been pretty spot on with that. They've been continuing to try and flash push these towers. They've been pressing them very aggressively, and again, trying to take that edge given how far behind they were, and that is going to at least make an opportunity for Burning to try and get a little bit more farmed. The gold graph now going to hover out about hover around 0 mark, as will the experience graph, so things continuing to even out. Kunkka and Alchemist now with pretty even scores, 6-2 and 7 on the Kunkka, and 6-2 and 4 on that Alchemist. So things definitely starting to level out here. It's getting interesting in our first of 2 matches today for the premiere of the WPC ACE League here coming out of China. Thank you so much for joining us, folks, bright and early if you're on the East Coast, or if you're in America, it's even earlier if you're over there on the West Coast. And I know you folks in Europe are loving it right now. This is prime time Dota action in the middle of your workday. Thank you so much for joining us on Dota Radio, folks. Alright, so both sides going to kind of back up here. They are going to continue farming about their sides of the map. That'll give us an opportunity to look at item pickups, and many have been made. We are going to see Mushi now on the Kunkka. Of course, he has grabbed that Shadow Blade to go with the Phase Boots and the Drum of Endurance, and now he's just going to be working towards a BKB. He's got the Ogre Club and a Mithril Hammer, and it looks like just about 300 gold off that recipe or so. Both teams going to be working towards those BKBs. We're going to see Sand King, interesting, well, not doing the build that I thought he would. He's not going to use the Blink Dagger, but instead just going to grab a Force Staff. So an item that's going to give him a little bit more utility. Of course, that is the classic counter item to the Clockwork. You can hop right out of those cogs, and he can help one of his buddies get out of the cogs as well. So that is going to give Sand King a little bit more utility, and I think he should be able to still use that Epicenter to most of its potential there. He still has that long-range initiation with the Force Staff. So I like that play, the different take on Sand King here. Elder Titan, we mentioned that he's had the mech. Now Luna going to be able to grab the BKB, so Burning's slowly getting more powerful here. He does have the Drum of Endurance to go with the Power Treads and the BKB. Also a Morbid Mask, so probably going to be grabbing a nicely timed Helm of the Dominator. No surprise about that. And EO going to be the one to grab a Ghost Scepter here to go with the Bottle and Magic Wand. Interesting that they decided to put the Urn on the Sand King instead of the Wisp. Usually the Wisp is the one to grab that Urn of Shadows because, of course, he can heal his buddy through that tether. So, you know, healing himself with the Urn tends to be a little bit more potent. There's just a particular bout of synergy there with any item that can heal on the Wisp. So just an interesting choice. Although, with that said, he is pairing with the Sand King. We've seen MMY and Lon here just continue to move around. And, well, I guess perhaps that's why he can put the Urn of Shadows on his buddy Wisp. It does end up working out pretty much the same. So I guess all in all, not too big of a difference there. On the dire side, though, some huge items have come out. And 2-2 on that Alchemist continuing to be a scary presence. He's now 15.8k on the net worth chart. And again, DK kind of playing with fire here. It looks like, oh no, the Wisp is going to get engaged on. 2-2 going to go forward. Down goes the Acid Spray. He's going to try to engage on MMY. He's now got an Assault Cuirass to go with that Ghost Scepter, or Jesus, the Shadow Blade there, as well as the BKB, Handamitis, and the Phase Boot. So 2-2, man, he is just becoming a scary force. He's now level 16. And again, 15.8k, just about 16k on net worth chart, and Kunkka at only about 10.5k. So there's a big dichotomy there, and DK, they're playing with fire. It's not bad to back up, farm that next round of core items, do what you need to do before you feel comfortable reinitiating that kind of team fight strategy. But they need to be careful, because the longer they sit back and farm, the further Vici Gaming will be able to pull ahead here, and the scarier that Alchemist is going to get. We are going to see DK kind of do a little bit of split pushing action in the bottom lane. They are going to do Mushi as well as Ice Ice Ice, the Kunkka Elder Titan combo, going to pressure that tier 2 tower. Super on the Weaver, going to be able to repel. And still in the top lane, they've got the Wisp and Sand King combo. 2-2 going to go in. Oh no, he's going to initiate. That's going to be the end of the Wisp. Looks like Sand King going to fall. Jesus, that's what I'm talking about right there. That Alchemist, he is just a machine. If he can catch you solo, those are going to be easy kills. And DK certainly playing with fire at this point. Now the Elder Titan going to get engaged on a nice long range hookshot, going to connect. A beautiful Ghost Ship going to come in. Will it be enough though? Mushi going to try to do some damage here. Ice 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 still alive. He's going to try to port out. Telekinesis going to come. Fadebolt going to connect as well. He's going to go down. All the while, though, Mushi does manage to port out. He says, see you later, buddy. Sorry, Ice, but I'm headed for the hills. And he does make it out. So that's going to be a 3-for-0 exchange about the map. Vici Gaming now going to pull ahead 18-16 here at the 30-minute mark, and it looks like they may just move into the Roche Pit, as they well should right here, with 3 dead on the side of DK. Why would you not in this situation? So there you go. And this is that point that I was talking about where, yeah, that's great. You got to back up. You got to get those core items. You can't just constantly keep pressuring. But, you know, with a Grievo's Greed, Handamitis Alchemist, he's scary. He's going to be working on the Basher now. He's got that Javelin in the bank, and they're going to initiate. Roche going to fall. Alchemist going to be the one to grab the Aegis, and they're just going to go straight in. Burning going to get initiated on here. He will get an Eclipse off. Going to be able to do a bit of damage. Rubik and the Treant going to fall. Luna gets taken out. Luna going to buy back right away, and now the fight going to continue to pursue. Not going the way that Vici Gaming wanted. Super going to be here. They're going to do a bit of damage. They're going to finish off the Sand King. Uh-oh, looks like things are going to turn around. I thought Kunkka was going to be able to do it for a second, but Kunkka going to fall. They're going to be able to finish off the Clockwork as well. Burning bot back. He got into the action, and he's going to fall. Uh-oh, things now not going the way that DK would have liked. Ice 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 very well may be in trouble here as well. He's going to try to migrate his way back through the Radiant Ancients, but he's going to get caught with the Unstable Concoction. Yeah, he's going to go down. Once you're stunned, the Alchemist can have his way with you, and he's going to throw him over a barrel, and down he goes. So that's going to be a 4-for-3 exchange in favor of Vici Gaming. Actually, a 5-for-3, giving that the Luna bought back, and now Vici going to be able to counter pressure, and they will be able to take out this tier 1 tower in the mid lane. This will be their second tower kill of the match, so things starting to get a little bit scary for Team DK. Let's look at the graph, and again, things going to swing way in favor of our dire side. Now upwards of 5,000 gold, 10,000 experience, and look at that net worth chart. Alchemist now 9,000 gold ahead of Mushi on that Kunkka. Things are really starting to look bad. He's now got a Shadow Blade, Assault Cuirass, Black King Bar, and a Skull Basher. His farm is definitely hitting epic proportions. Any other big items coming out on the Radiant side? No, not yet. Burning, again, just not having the game that he wants. Right now, Alchemist 8-2-10. Burning on that Luna, he's only 2-5-9. Ouch, not a good game for Burning. And he had great early farm, but the difference was Alchemist was able to pick up some early kills. Remember that time when Alchemist was 3-0-2, when Luna was just 0-1-0. and that's really what set things off to be bad. 2-2 has just been a step ahead this entire match. Burning, he just can't recover. There's no way a Luna is going to be able to catch an Alchemist, especially with this farm differential here we have going on. There's just no way. Greevil's Greed and Hand of Midas allows him to farm way too quickly, and I think Vici Gaming going to be in pretty good shape here, as long as they don't do anything too crazy. We talked about this yesterday in some of those Power Rangers matchups, where Power Rangers have that tendency to get ahead and then do silly things, and I think Vici Gaming, maybe not quite there yet, but getting close to that point. Okay, we just need to not do anything stupid, and we should be able to just continue overtaking this game. Again, they're at the point now where they can take team fights, so that's okay. DK is over that mid-game timing where they can force team fights, and Vici doesn't have what the ability to respond the way they would like. So now, Vici's in good shape. As long as they don't dive, as long as they don't take crazy bad initiations, let some of their heroes get caught off solo, they should be able to take team fights, and they should be able to just follow up, take these outer remaining towers, and just slowly work their way into the base. But we'll see. Vici Gaming going to smoke up in the Radiant jungle. They're going to try to initiate down in the bottom. Hookshot going to get thrown. It's not going to connect. The tower count right now is 4-3 in favor of DK. They actually still hold on to a small tower advantage, but it won't be for long. We are going to see Vici group up in the bottom lane. All 3 tier 2 towers still remaining for Team DK on the Radiant, and there it is. And Stable Concoction going to be used on Ice Ice Ice. He's going to be initiated on. BKB going to be popped by the Alchemist. We're going to see the cogs come out. That's going to mitigate a little bit of the damage that 2-2 can put out, but it doesn't matter. Elder Titan going to fall, and Weaver going to be able to grab that kill. So now they're going to continue onward. They're going to be able to finish off the Alchemist. Clockwork going to go down as well, but as does EO. We did see a buyback come from the Elder Titan. He's going to get back in the battle. It's a pretty chaotic fight, but it looks like our Radiant side going to hold. Vici Gaming going to get way too aggressive under that tower, and they're going to get completely cleaned up almost. Rubik going to be able to pour it out right there, but it's a 2-for-4 exchange, and they do force the buyback on the Elder Titan there, played by Ice Ice Ice. So point in case right there, folks. Vici Gaming getting maybe a little bit too aggressive. They are still going to hold on to a lead. They are leading 25-23 here at the 34-minute mark, but DK, they hold. They show that they're still a force to be reckoned with. This Kunkka slowly getting more and more scary here, and oh, come on, Jesus. Mushi gonna have the Shadow Blade, Phase Boots, Back King Bar, the Drum of Endurance, and the Magic Wand. So Kunkka's slowly becoming this scary force here. He does have 2.8k gold in the bank, and Mushi getting close to that point where he's either going to go the tank route and pick up a Hearted Tarask here, or he's going to go the carry route. And I think Daedalus will probably be the DPS item of choice. We will see him pressure this bottom tier 2 tower for Vici Gaming. The glyph going to be used, and that will repel the forces of Mushi for now, and he is going to port back to the base. So there you have it. Again, folks, I see someone asking in chat, this is a best of 2 in this tournament, the WPC ACE League, the Asian tournament, the Chinese Dota action, $250,000-ish on the line, 1 million in Chinese currency. I believe that's Chinese currency. It is best of 2 format all the way through. Most days there will be 4 matches total, 2 matchups, each matchup with 2 games. Today we have 1 matchup for the opening ceremony, DK versus VG, and this is game number 1 of this best of 2 series. Again, guys, you can visit dotaradio.com for our low bandwidth audio only streaming alternative, and it is live right now. Big shout out to the handful of you folks on the audio only stream as we speak. A big shout out to everyone on Twitch as well. Love seeing you guys here. Glad you could join us bright and early for some Chinese Dota. Again, with DK here, they keep holding. DK has a really well-rounded team. We've seen time and time again that DK have the team fight potential to make it happen. Mushi continuing to do great work with his Torrent Ghost Ship combos. Now that he is level 18, having that level 3 Ghost Ship, only a 40-second cooldown, so we have seen some situations with Kunkka where you can actually use it twice in a team fight if you have one of those kind of long, extended back-and-forth fights. And what does Rubik have right now? He still has the Ghost Ship as well. That's one thing that FY has done very well on this Rubik, because he's stolen that Ghost Ship, and he hasn't really let it go. How many times has Rubik? He's 2-4-14. I think he's maybe stolen it a couple of times here, but he's had Ghost Ship for the better part of this match, and it's worked quite well. Of course, Ghost Ship pairs very, very nicely with the Overgrowth on that Treant Protector, and we have seen that combo a couple times come out from our Dire team, and has worked quite nice for him here. Let's take a look at the inventories. More items coming out, and whoa, Alchemist with an interesting build. He's got 2 BKBs. And you saw that 1 BKB, down to 6 seconds. I'm just going to go ahead and grab another one. And now he's got a 10-second duration BKB. Interesting. It's really not often you see a hero with 2 BKBs in the inventory. I mean, it is going to be 20 strength, 48 damage, so I guess it's not all bad, just a little strange. Who knows if those are actually both BKBs? We have seen that item bug in the inventory of Alchemist, so I don't really know what he's got, honestly. I want to say he doesn't have 2 BKBs. But I really don't know. He didn't have the Aegis either, so they do have different timings on them with the cooldowns and different durations, so that makes me wonder if it's actually 2. If anyone in chat can confirm if he actually did buy a new BKB, it's hard to say. That these servers have been a little bit buggy, to say the least, to get things going. Clockwork now going to be able to pick up a Gem of True Sight, and Weaver actually going to be able to grab a Desolator. So, oh no, now that carry potential really starting to shine from Vici. We saw Weaver in the mid lane. He didn't go for that classic Lincoln Sphere opening. He went for the early BKB. So far Weaver hasn't been a huge damage source. But now that he's got the BKB in these the BKB can help. But now that he has the Desolator in these upcoming team fights, Super going to be a much more scary force to deal with. And now DK is going to run into that problem. They're going to have to deal with 2 carries. They're going to have the Weaver as well as the Alchemist, both just pounding into them. And that's going to be difficult for them to deal with. It's one of those situations, if you focus one, the other's going to kill you, and vice versa. So they're going to have to be a little bit careful here. Elder Titan going to be working towards a Halberd, no doubt. He does have the Sange to go with that mech already, and I think the Halberd is going to be a much-needed tool here to try to deal with either the Weaver or the Alchemist in these upcoming team fights. On the Radiant side as well, looks like Luna going to be working towards a Butterfly there. Does have the Eagle Song already, and I think that's going to be a smart choice. But 2-2 maybe getting a little aggressive here. He's going to try to engage on Mushi. They're going to be in the jungle here. ROTK going to hookshot in. They're going to put the sleep. The Ghost Ship going to come out. Not going to connect with anything. Very nicely dodged by the Alchemist there. And looks like VG will be able to survive. They're going to head back to friendly territory. So a noble effort there. 2-2 looking for an opportunity to perhaps get a free kill, but great support on both sides, really. It started as a 1v1 and both teams were there at kind of the drop of a hat to continue supporting their teams. Other big item pickups that we should mention before the next fight starts. Rubik does have a Force Staff of his own, so that is going to be 2 Force Staffs on the field. One in the hands of Rubik, one on the hand of the Sand King there. So 2 powerful items. We did mention how the one for Sand King at least will help counter the efforts of Clockwork's Cogs and of Rubik. Just trying to get a little bit of extra mobility. Always a good item to pick up. And it looks like Tree may be working towards one of his own. He's got the Staff of Wizardry as well as a Ring of Regen. So all arrows pointing towards, hey man, I'm going to be picking up one of those spiffy Force Staffs before too long. Looks like Vici Gaming may be waiting for Roche to respawn. Roche going to be coming up in just about a minute here, maybe a minute and a half or so. It is 25-23 after 39 minutes of gameplay. If we glance at that gold graph, Vici Gaming still holding on to a small lead. It's more about 5,000 gold, 4,000 experience. So given we've got an even game, they very well may be waiting for that Roche kill to come up before they try and press forward. We will see the Tree get caught off guard. Looks like he was in the Radiant jungle there with his pants around his ankles, just hanging out with his Tree buddies there in the jungle. And unfortunately, DK caught whiff of his pine scent, and they were able to take him out. So that's going to be a free kill coming up for DK. Going to get close to leveling it out. Now 24-25 as we're about to approach the 40-minute mark. So we are going to see down in this bottom rune spawn, both sides going to be fighting over ward control. There was dire control there with Vision, and it looks like, is that a counter ward? Is there a gem on both sides? Yep, there's going to be a gem on both sides. Sand King's got one, as does Clockwork. So both sides going to have trouble warding a little bit here, but at present, we will see our Radiant side take control of Vision around the Roche pit and on this bottom rune. One of them is not on CD, so someone tell me. So does that mean he's got 2 BKBs? If he uses one and one's not on BKB, that means he's got one. Is that what you're telling me? It's actually 2 BKBs that he bought, not an item bug. Sorry, still trying to hunt that down. We are going to see DK get aggressive here, though. They're going to smoke up in the dire jungle. They're going to go forward. They're going to try to catch the Weaver. Weaver going to be in trouble. Down he goes. They're going to burn everything to try to finish him off. ROTK going to take a lot of damage on that Clockwork. He does have a BKB, so he's going to go ahead and use it. He'll survive. Super on the Weaver, going to buy back right away. So now Vici Gaming, they know those big cooldowns are down. This is their opportunity to fight. Unstable Concoction going to connect with the Luna. Now Alchemist going to press forward. He's going to try to do a lot of damage. Luna going to be able to tank it. Super taking a lot of damage from Mushi as well. A nice time lapse going to take him back up to full health. Now FY on the Rubik taking a lot of damage. They're going to try to make this happen, but Vici Gaming, they're crumbling under the pressure. What is happening here? 3 members of Vici Gaming going to fall, and of course one buyback was already used, so Weaver does survive to tell the tale, but it's going to be a 5 versus 2 on the field right now. DK may be able to do it. Oh no, you know what it was? The butterfly. The timing of that attack from DK, so spot on. That was so crucial. They've been behind in this game. I've been skeptical that DK will be able to do it given how farmed that Alchemist was, but right there, the butterfly was the driving force in that engage, and you saw how they did it. They got the butterfly, they smoked up, and right away they knew they had that evasion advantage, 35% evasion on their scary carry that is burning on the level 20 Luna. They went in, they forced the team fight, they got a great kill on the Weaver, they forced the buyback, and the fight came back. We saw Alchemist throw the Unstable Concoction, initiated onto Burning. He tried to drop the hammer, but he couldn't. He's got no MKB. 35% miss is absolutely huge. That's how Burning was able to stay alive, and then the team fight turned after that. He burned the Eclipse, and VG GG just melted. Now DK going to be able to move into the Roche pit. They're going to be able to get a Roche kill here. They're going to grab the Aegis of the Immortal. It looks like Vici Gaming want to try and stop it, but oh no, they're going to be scattered about. They're not going to find the team fight they're looking for here. Overgrowth going to be burned, going to slow them down a little bit. ROTK, he's going to hop in, going to be on a little bit of a suicide mission here. Kunkka going to be able to use the Tidebringer to finish off the tree. Weaver, meanwhile, did solo the Sand King, but Clockwork going to fall as well. That's going to be a 2-for-1, and now all of a sudden the tides have turned, and DK going to take control of this game. They've got the Aegis, they got the last Roche kill, and that was the second Roche kill, I believe, so no cheese coming out quite yet, but wow, what a turn of events. Now Luna, Burning had gone from bitch to bull, as it may have seemed. He was so underfarmed, struggling so much in that early game, but now he's got himself a Butterfly, a BKB, a Drum of Endurance, the Casual Morbid Mask, and the Aegis of the Immortal. Now Kunkka is starting to get more scary as well. We talked about how is he going to transition. Will he go tank? Will he go hard carry? It's going to be carry. He's got himself a Demon Edge and a Crystallis, another 2.1k in the bank. There it is, the Daedalus recipe picked up, so he's going to be getting those big numbers. Big crits going to be coming out for the Kunkka. Alchemist, still a scary force here, still leading the way on the net worth chart by a huge margin, about 8k. He's at about 24k gold on the net worth chart. And let's take a look at his inventory here. Let's see what he's going for. Looks like that second BKB not helping him so much here. He's got about 3.8k gold in the bank, going to be up to 4k in just a moment here. And it makes you wonder, is he going to go for the Abyssal Blade next or the MKB? And I think he's going to need an MKB, but he's not going to do it. The Courier going to go ahead and grab the Relic, and it's going to bring it over. That's going to be an Abyssal Blade to go with his 2 Black King bars, the Shadow Blade, and the Assault Cuirass. So, I don't know. We're still not sure if this is a visual bug or if it's a BKB. I really don't know. I'm honestly, I don't know. I really don't know. I can't tell. They have different cooldowns, so it looks like he's been using them differently. But it's, why would you get 2 BKBs? I still can't figure it out. It doesn't make any sense. So I think if one of these BKBs was an MKB, trade in your Black King for a Monkey King, you know, things would be a lot different here, because then 2-2 would have been cutting through that Luna, and that last team fight would have gone much differently. But uh-oh, speaking of Alchemist in the mid lane, he's going to get engaged on X marks the spot. The Ghost Ship going to come out. Alchemist going to get melted. Oh no, Vici Gaming going to be in big trouble. Alchemist not going to have buyback. He just spent all of his gold on a Sacred Relic to be able to make the Abyssal Blade. This is the opportunity DK's been waiting for. They're going to take out the Clockwork as well. Does Clockwork have a buyback? No, he doesn't. Going to be 500 gold short. DK should be able to take racks here. Is there a glyph up? There is indeed. That will buy Vici Gaming a little bit of time here, but all they have are Weaver, Treant, and Rubik. Ghost Ship going to get thrown by the Rubik, going to connect with only the Kunkka. Mushi doesn't care. It hits him in the face, and he really could give 2 shits right now. He's got the Daedalus. They're taking out this tier 3 tower in the mid lane. It's going to fall. Alchemist dead for another 50 seconds. I hope they continue to press forward here. There are still 2 tier 2 towers up, so they're not going to be able to push these other lanes of racks, but oh no, Weaver going to get caught. Down he goes. Kunkka just obliterating faces right now, working so well to counter the efforts of that sneaky Weaver, and they're just going to press forward. They might win it right here. DK, they have still 2 tier 2 towers up in the top and bottom lanes. They're not going to be able to take the other lanes of racks, and they say, screw it, we don't need your racks. We're going for the tier 4s. We're going for the throne, and DK able to do it after some beautiful initiation. They're going to dive the well. The tier 4 towers fall, and that's it, folks. That is our first game of the day in the books. DK able to do it. Vici Gaming, they had the farmed Alchemist. The 2 BKBs didn't save you. The Abyssal Blade ended up being the worst choice right there. Not that the item's bad, but he spent all of his gold and didn't have enough for buyback. That's why you pool for buyback. Situations like that, if Alchemist could have bought back, Vici Gaming would have had a chance to hold. But alas, the Abyssal Blade did nothing from the grave. Gar! It feels so appropriate as the mighty Kunkka. 13-3 and 16, matey. Well played by Mushi. That really was some of the best Kunkka play I've seen. 13-3 and 16. Absolute domination in the mid lane with that Kunkka. Very nicely done by DK. Glad they were able to take game number 1, and we're moving on to game number 2, folks.